So Tesla reported their earnings yesterday. They had amazing cash flow, they beat on revenues, and they beat on earnings per share. How did the market reward them? Well, the stock fell nearly 12% today. Welcome to the stock market, y'all. One of the key milestones for every publicly traded company happens 4 times a year when they go ahead and submit and release their quarterly filings. And usually after that, they have an earnings call where they typically discuss the quarterly report or the annual report or whatever financial filing they just released. And so all of this begs the question, where exactly do you find these quarterly reports, annual reports, and when do you know that this quarterly report or annual report is coming? Like, when do you know that, let's say, Palantir is going to be releasing their earnings for Q4 of 2021? This is all vital information because you might go ahead and adapt it to your trading strategy. You might want to buy a stock leading up to the earnings report. You might want to sell a stock leading up to an earnings report. Or you may just want to play the price movement because usually there's a lot of anticipatory buying right up to an earnings report release. And so with all that being said, we're going to cover it all in this video. And please, throughout the video, if you have a better resource than what I'm showing, mention it in the comments so that we can all learn together. I don't really use paid services, but if it's a paid service and you think it's great, mention it in the comments. I'll check it out, I'll scope it out, and maybe I'll make a video on it as well. So without further ado, let's dive into the video. Okay, so prior to even jumping in and showing you exactly where to find the earnings report, let's discuss where you can see when the earnings report is going to be released. Like, let's say you're invested in Palantir or AMC and you're like, well, when are they going to report their earnings for Q4 2021? Well, you can find that by going to NASDAQ.com, hovering over market activity, clicking on stocks, and then if you type in a symbol of any stock, so let's say Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR, we click on Palantir Technologies, and if we scroll down here, we can see that there is a tab here called Earnings. If you click on Earnings, you will see that they say that the Palantir Earnings Day earning announcement is going to be on February 15th, 2022. Now, let's say you wanted to search another stock. Well, you could go to stocks. Let's say we're trying to see when AMC will be reporting Q4 of 2021. So you can see here, you scroll down, you go to earnings, and you'll see that the earnings announcement for AMC will be occurring on March 9th of this year. Now, another place you can find all this is Yahoo Finance. But the reason I like this is because it shows it to you for individual stocks, and it's nice and clean in the way they set it up. Also, if you're someone that's a big time trader, you swing trade, you day trade, you don't have time to look at individual stocks, you want to see the day of, well, you can hover over market activity under NASDAQ.com and go to earnings. It's right here under market events. If you click on earnings, you will see that they have a really cool setup here and a really nice layout for all the earnings activity that will be happening in this week. You can select the date, you can go back and see all the earnings that did occur, and they give a lot of stats here. Like, take a look here. They're showing the market cap, the fiscal quarter. Remember, not everyone's fiscal quarter ends on the same date. They're showing the consensus earnings per share forecast, the number of estimates that was taken to make up this number, last year's reported date, and also last year's reported earnings per share. And what's even cooler, if we go to a past date, so let's say Tuesday, January 25th, 2022, you will see that they actually post the percentage of a surprise that occurred in the earnings report. And another resource you can use is finance.yahoo.com/calendar/earnings. And if we scroll down here, we'll be able to see a lot of information as well. So we'll see the ticker symbol, the company, the earnings call time, and the earnings per share estimate. And what's really cool is if you go into the past, so let's say Tuesday, January 25th, if we take a look at what happened on Tuesday, you'll see that not only do they show you the information we just mentioned, but they also show you the reported earnings per share and the surprise percentage. So this is really helpful information. And you can even scroll down and see, what were the biggest surprises during that day and what were the biggest upsets? And so you can find all of that here. Now, as far as finding the actual filings of the report, I use SEC.gov, and in this video, I'm creating it showing you how I go ahead and do due diligence, look up reports. But if you have a better resource, please do let me know, because I'm trying to learn with the rest of you. So let's say I wanted to see the reporting for Intel, right? So I would type in the ticker symbol INTC, and you can find this at SEC.gov. Type in the ticker symbol, you'll see right here, Intel Corp. If I click on it, I will see the latest filings, and you will see here that there's typically an 8K. Now the 8K is current reports. It is a report that companies must file with the SEC to announce major events that shareholders should know about. Companies generally have 4 business days to file a Form 8K for an event that triggers the filing requirement. And I find that right away there's usually 8K reports, and then they are followed by 10K reports. Now the 10K report you can see here, so the 8K, they announced what their earnings was. This was January 26th, but then the really detailed 10K report, this came on January 27th. Now the nice thing is all companies are so careful to go ahead and be very mindful, very careful what they post to the SEC, right? And this is the go-to resource, because again, there can be some confusion when you go ahead and you import some information to these other third-party websites that then feed the information to your exchange and stuff. But this is the source right here, because you get into a lot of trouble if you upload the wrong stuff or you show them the wrong information. Now the 10K is the annual report, and the 10Q is the quarterly report. Why is this important? Because 4 times a year you're going to get a quarterly report, and 1 time a year you will get the annual report. Both are very important for seeing the close-up picture and the grand picture of what happened in the past year. So over here we can see that there was a 10K filed for Intel. And if we scroll down, we should be able to see literally everything we need to. We can comb through this. This will be available for a very long time. You can go back in time. You can see a lot of stuff in their database. And so I highly recommend this. I go through some of this. If I have a really large position, I'll go through all of it and I will just read it. I will educate myself as much as I can. And this way I can continue to formulate a sound thesis and make sure that I'm really doing my due diligence. Not just YouTubing, oh, what does this YouTuber say about Intel? And what does this YouTuber say about Intel? Everyone's got an opinion, but facts are facts. And most of the time, the stuff that you see submitted here to the SEC filings, these are straight facts. Now, obviously, there's different ways for accountants to simmer the books a little bit. And have there been companies that have lied in these reports in the past? Absolutely. But this is as close as you're going to get to the real deal. Now, one other thing that I have to point out is that individual companies, they all have a website, right? And so what you can do is you could look at their investors relations. And the investor relations department, they usually have a section or just a dedicated website altogether. And they have all this information that they post right there as well. All the press releases, all the information they want their investors to see, all their filings. So for instance, here, I just Google like Tesla investor relations or Palantir investor relations or AMC investor relations, whatever this ticker symbol is, the company, just do that and investor relations. So for Tesla investor relations, I'm going to hit enter and I see this Tesla investor relations. I click it. And this is an entire website just dedicated to investor relations. And here you can find everything. For instance, you can see their Q4, the earnings date, and their entire press release. You can download the shareholder deck. You can have the webcast with the Q&A. You can listen to it. And so there's a wealth of knowledge to find here. And typically, this is the source to go on a lot of websites that do a good job just compiling everything and posting it here. Because for some, if you don't listen to the phone call, to the earnings call, you have no idea where to find it. Well, investor relations on the actual website might be the place where everything is organized and easy to find. So I'm very curious, if this video helped you out, please leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, but leave me a comment letting me know, is this a good process that I'm doing when doing due diligence, Or should I be looking at some other resource? Is there some other website? Is there a paid service? I try to kind of stick to the free services, and that way I can make tutorials on them and a lot of people can see them and stuff. But at this point, with the money I made, I should probably start paying for services. So if you use a paid service that has great earnings reports and alerts, or maybe your exchange does, like I have E-Trade, they have okay alerts. I'm not super pleased with this. I used to like TD Ameritrade more when I was with them, but I just use E-Trade because I love their technical charts. I love the information they provide. I've been with them forever, and their customer service, in my opinion, is pretty good. Again, there's no referral codes. I'm not asking you to subscribe to anything. I'm not asking you to purchase a package with anyone. I'm not asking you to sign up with any brokerage or use any promo code. I'm just here to help you learn and hopefully educate myself in the process. So leave a comment if this video helped you out, and let me know which stock, crypto, options trading strategy you would like for me to cover next. I will see you guys in the next video.